My boyfriend thought I'd never find out about his side chick. She texted him, "She's so clueless, poor thing." I replied, "Yeah, too bad she just packed her bags and left the rent unpaid." He called me, panicked. I just smiled and said, "Find another fool to cover it." I met Jake 3 years ago at a friend's party in Chicago. He was charming, funny, and had this way of making you feel like the only person in the room. We hit it off immediately and started dating shortly after. Things moved fast, and within 6 months, we moved in together into a cozy apartment in Lincoln Park. Looking back, there were signs I chose to ignore. Jake was protective of his phone, always keeping it face down and taking it with him everywhere. He'd get texts at odd hours and dismiss them as work-related. I trusted him, so I didn't push. One evening, while Jake was in the shower, his phone buzzed. I glanced over and saw a message preview. "She's so clueless, poor thing." My heart sank. I knew I shouldn't, but I opened the message. It was from a woman named Lisa, someone I'd never heard of. Their conversation was flirtatious and intimate. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Jake was cheating. I felt a mix of anger, betrayal, and sadness. I decided to confront him. When he came out of the shower, I handed him his phone and simply said, "Lisa texted you." The color drained from his face. He tried to explain, saying it was just harmless flirting and meant nothing. But the evidence was clear. I couldn't stay in a relationship built on lies. I packed my bags that night and left. I didn't care about the rent or the logistics. I needed to get out. As I was leaving, Jake begged me to stay, apologizing profusely. But I knew I deserved better. It's been a few months since that night. I'm now living in a new apartment in Wicker Park, focusing on myself and healing. Trusting again will be hard, but I'm hopeful. Sharing this has been therapeutic, and I hope my story reminds others to trust their instincts and know their worth. A week after I moved out, I was finally sleeping through the night again. No more waking up to whispered phone calls from the bathroom. No more wondering why he was always 10 minutes late. But the silence didn't last long. Jake started blowing up my phone. First, it was texts. "Please just talk to me. You left without giving me a chance. I love you." I ignored them. Then came the calls. Dozens a day. I blocked his number. That's when the emails started. He sent me a 4-page email begging me to come back. Said he made a mistake, that he was confused, and he missed us. He said Lisa didn't mean anything. Just a fling. He even said she was obsessed with him and made it sound like he was the victim. That's when I knew he wasn't sorry. He was just sorry he got caught. I didn't reply, but I watched. I created a burner Instagram account and followed Lisa. She was public. She posted pictures constantly. Mostly selfies, gym mirror shots, wine glasses with manicured fingers. Then, 4 days after Jake's email, she posted a photo. Her in Jake's hoodie. My old couch in the background. The caption? "His hoodie, my ex." My heart dropped. I recognized that hoodie. It was mine. Well, Jake's, but I'd basically lived in it. I couldn't believe it. He didn't just move on, he moved her in. 2 weeks after I left. Then I remembered something. I was still on the lease. I called our landlord. Played it cool. Asked if Jake had paid the rent for the next month. She paused and said no, not yet. It was due in 3 days. That's when the idea hit me. I went back to the apartment while Jake was at work. I had a spare key. I packed up the rest of my stuff, whatever he hadn't already given her. I took the nice blender, my grandmother's dishes, and a few random things I knew he'd never notice were mine until he needed them. Before I left, I wrote a note and taped it to the fridge. "She's so clueless, poor thing. Too bad she just packed her bags and left the rent unpaid." Then I blocked him everywhere. Again. It took less than 2 hours for him to call me from a new number. I didn't answer. He texted, "What did you do?" I replied, "Find another fool to cover it." Then I turned off the phone and sat on the floor of my new place in Wicker Park, eating pizza straight from the box. I laughed for the first time in days. But it didn't stop there. The next day, I got a message on my burner account. From Lisa. "Nice move," she wrote. "Too bad he still comes to me every night." I stared at the screen, my stomach flipping. I didn't reply. I knew what she was doing. She wanted a reaction. I gave her silence. But I started to wonder, was she lying? Or was Jake actually still seeing me and her at the same time? And if he was, what did that say about her? A few days later, I got an email from Jake's mom. That was the real twist. I'd always liked her. She was sweet, always sent me birthday cards and brought homemade cookies when she visited. She wrote, "I don't know what happened between you two, but Jake is a mess. If you ever want to talk, I'm here." That was the first time I cried since I left. I didn't know what to say to her. Part of me wanted to spill everything. Tell her that her son was a lying, cheating manipulator. Another part of me didn't want to drag her into it. She didn't deserve the weight of his mess. But curiosity started to eat at me. I wanted to know how deep the lies went. How long it had really been going on. Who else knew? And more importantly, what Jake would do now that I'd finally stopped playing the fool. So I didn't reply to his mom. I figured if she really wanted answers, she could ask her son why I left a perfectly good apartment and half my things behind. But the thing is, once someone opens that door of betrayal, you start questioning everything. I couldn't stop thinking, how long had Lisa really been around? Were there others? Was I really that blind? Then, 2 weeks later, I got a Venmo request from Jake. For half the rent. I swear to God, I stared at my phone for a good 5 minutes in shock. He actually had the audacity to request $975 with a note. You're part of rent this month. I didn't even reply. I just screenshotted it and sent it to one of our mutual friends, Mia. She and I had drifted apart a bit after I moved out, probably because she stayed closer with Jake. She responded instantly. Mia, girl, did you see his IG story today? I hadn't. I didn't follow him anymore. I opened up my burner account again and searched him. My heart nearly stopped. There it was. A video Jake, standing in front of a mirror, shirtless, flexing like some kind of low-budget influencer. The caption, only real ones ride through the storm. Lost a girl, gained peace. I wanted to laugh and scream at the same time. But then Mia messaged again. Mia, you don't know the half of it. Lisa's not the first. There was another girl. A bartender at Jack and Ginger's. He was seeing her while you two were still together. I didn't say anything then because I wasn't sure, but I am now. She came into my work last night asking about him. She's pissed. I felt dizzy. I'd been blaming myself for not seeing the signs with Lisa. Turns out Lisa wasn't even the beginning. She was just the one who got cocky. This new girl's name was Amber. Apparently, Jake had been seeing her for a few months behind Lisa's back, and mine. She worked nights, so their timelines never clashed. Mia told me she found out about Lisa through Jake's tagged photos, and when she confronted him, he told her I was the crazy ex who couldn't move on, and that Lisa was just a roommate. Seriously, a roommate. The worst part? Amber was now trying to find me. She messaged me through the burner account. Hey, I think we've both been lied to. Can we talk? I sat with that message for hours. I didn't want to open the door again. I'd already walked away from this mess. But now it was like a new door had opened, and inside was the full truth I'd never gotten. So I replied. We met at a coffee shop on Milwaukee Avenue. I recognized her right away, tall, tattoos on both arms, black lipstick, and zero time for BS. She walked in like she owned the place and sat down across from me with a look that said, let's compare notes. And oh, we did. She told me Jake met her at the bar one night when I was visiting my mom in Des Moines. He said he was single, just out of a messy breakup. He made her laugh, charmed her the same way he did me. She said they went out a few times, and she started staying over. She saw my name pop up once on his screen and asked about it. He said I was a friend. A clingy one. Then she found Lisa's earrings under his bed. He told her they were mine, and that I couldn't let go. Amber looked me dead in the eyes and said, he played us all like we were characters in some stupid soap opera. That's when I told her about the Venmo request. We both laughed so hard the people next to us turned and stared. Then Amber pulled out her phone and showed me screenshots. Messages between her and Jake. The latest one was from just 2 nights ago. He had texted her, I miss you. I'm finally done with all the drama. Wanna come over? Amber, sure. Should I bring your other girlfriends too? He didn't reply. I walked out of that coffee shop with Amber's number and a strange feeling in my gut. Not pain. Not even anger. Something new. Power. Jake had been so sure none of us would talk. He counted on the lies staying separated, like walls between rooms in a house. But those walls were falling, and I wasn't planning to clean up the mess. Lisa didn't know about Amber. Amber didn't know about me. And none of us had known the truth until now. But someone was about to. Amber and I didn't plan it at first. We were just two women comparing broken pieces from the same messed up puzzle. But once we had the full picture, once we realized how many lies Jake had stacked on top of each other, the anger turned into something else purpose. Amber said it first. We should tell Lisa. I hesitated. Lisa had laughed at me. Called me clueless. Posted pictures in my clothes. But in a way, she was a victim too. We all were. Amber leaned in and said, she's smug now because she thinks she won. But she doesn't even know she's playing a rigged game. So we did it. We sent Lisa one message from my burner account. Want to know what your boyfriend's been doing when you're not around? Ask him about the bartender from Jack and Ginger's. Or better yet, let's meet. Surprisingly, she replied. Where? Amber picked the spot, Bar Sienna in West Loop. Busy, loud, neutral. Lisa showed up 15 minutes late, fake lashes, big hoops, full armor. She walked in like she expected a fight. She sat down, crossed her arms, and said, Make it quick. I slid my phone across the table. Photos. Screenshots. Timestamps. Amber, he's been playing all of us. Lisa didn't say anything for a long time. Then she laughed. But not the fun kind. The kind that cracked halfway through. He told me you were the ex that couldn't let go, she said to me. Then turned to Amber. Said you were stalking him after a one-night stand. He told me you were a roommate, Amber said flatly. Lisa's face twisted. We've been dating since November. He told me he loved me. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. That's when I saw him. Jake, walking up to the restaurant. His stupid smirk. Probably thought Lisa had invited him for a drink. He walked in and froze when he saw the three of us sitting there. I wish I had a picture of his face. Mouth slightly open. Eyes wide. He looked like a kid who just realized the teacher was collecting the test he didn't study for. He walked over slowly. What's going on? His voice cracked. No one said anything. Lisa stood up first. You want to explain something to me, Jake? Or to them? She gestured to Amber and me. Jake looked at me. Then Amber. Then back at Lisa. This isn't what it looks like. That line. That tired, pathetic line. I actually laughed. Amber stood up. So who are you taking home tonight, Jake? Flip a coin? That hit him. Lisa took off the necklace he gave her. It was mine originally, I noticed, and tossed it on the table. You said I was different. That I wasn't like your ex. She wasn't, I said, standing. Turns out, we're all exactly the same in his story. Temporary. Jake started to say something, but Lisa cut him off. Save it. You don't get to talk anymore. We walked out together. All three of us. Didn't say much. There was nothing else to say. The next day, Jake posted some long, dramatic story about betrayal and how some people don't know how to forgive. Comments were turned off. Amber moved on. She's dating someone new. Lisa and I kept in touch for a little while. I wouldn't say we're friends now, but there's a weird kind of solidarity and shared heartbreak. As for me, I went to therapy. I journaled. I took up yoga even though I suck at it. I learned to love eating alone. And I finally changed my number. Jake tried to reach out one last time through email. Said he was working on himself and hoped I was doing okay. I never replied. I'll never forget the way he looked when we all stood together, united by his lies. I used to think closure came from answers. But the truth is, sometimes it comes from walking away, knowing you finally put yourself first. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not even sad. I'm just done. And for the first time in a long time, I'm at peace.